You know that little Miss Jocelyn sign, all men are blood clots. People in the industry are blood clots. Hello, darlings. Welcome back to AM to PM with your favorite darling and internet big sis, Anna Marie. This is episode 5, and this is your weekly reality check where we get into the nitty gritty of everyday life. So prepare to hear some hard truths served with a little bit of shenanigans and some piping hot tea, okay? This week we are talking about surviving the entertainment industry. And if you know or if you don't know, I am a presenter. I've been a presenter for the last 7 years. I've been a professional DJ for the last year, and I have launched a few of my successful and unsuccessful ventures over the years. So I think I know a fair share, a thing or two. And with everything that's happening in the scene right now, I feel it's very poignant to have this conversation. But first, before we get into that, let's head over to our correspondent who will be serving the tea this week. AM, handing over to you.
What's the tea?
Thank you. In recent news, it has been reported that local Rosshole and producer, most known for dancing in the background of music videos, in fact, did that shit. In a recent lawsuit made against the Rosshole by a former girlfriend, the two have decided to resolve their issues amicably and settled on an undisclosed amount, meaning that he, in fact, did that shit. And your days are numbered. In other news, I'm a Celebrity star Sam Thompson compares his fellow contestant missing her children at home to him missing his 2 cats. That's like telling someone, oh, I'm from St. Lucia, and then saying, oh, my mate's from Jamaica. It's not the same. Read the room. That's all from me this week. Back to you in the studio. Thank you, AM. That was AM with the tea this week. Now, to go back to that, it was funny how last week in episode 4, I was talking about how I was not vibing with this Diddy Gigs collaboration friendship thing, broski business that they got going on. Not a fan, because we know Diddy's history. Literally the day after I put out that episode, boom, shit done hit the fan. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about Cassie Ventura, singer, pop queen of the early 2000s, who was Diddy's former girlfriend and was also signed to Bad Boy, comes out with a lawsuit against him, talking about the abuse that she faced while she was with him. And it is horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. And I knew it. Anything that anyone has said about Diddy over the years, I believe it, because that man, I said he's a worm. He's worse than, he's a roach. He's the roachiest of roaches, because he's someone who can never die. He's someone who can never go down. When you've got that amount of money and power, and you're so self-fulfilled, and you're just a little bit sadistic and narcissistic and all of the things put together, it's also Scorpio. It's people like that can never be stopped. And in the lawsuit, she mentioned on several occasions where he paid out hotels to wipe evidence, to wipe CCTV footage of him throwing things at her and beating her up. If you watched Making the Band on MTV back in the day, right? Diddy's reality show where Day 26 came from there, Danity Kane, this is like early 2000s, right? This man, and this is one of the most iconic episodes, but honestly, the cruelest thing that he did, he made the band walk 12 miles because I can't even remember what the altercation was. He made the band walk 12 miles across New York, across the Brooklyn Bridge, right? 12 miles to go and get him a slice of strawberry cheesecake and bring it back. And he said, no, you're not taking the train. You're not taking the bus. It was the middle of the night. You're going to walk and get it. So they walked 3 hours there and 3 hours back. When they got the cake, they even dropped the cake. Then they had to beg the people to open up the store and get them another slice. By the time they walked back and brought it back to the studio, he was gone. And that's when I knew this man was crazy. The way that he used to speak to people on that show, it was funny at the time because you're just like, oh yeah, it's Diddy, like he's a boss, he knows what he's saying. But the way that the people on the show would react to him, you think they had an attitude. Nah, Diddy was just like a snake. He was a worm roach. He was a horrible, horrible person and still is today. And I'm glad all of this is coming to light. They managed to settle it. People are talking about, oh, he paid her 30 million. We don't know if he paid her 30 million, okay, because it's undisclosed. She came with a lawsuit. She wanted 30 million as reparations, but we don't know if that's the amount that he gave her. And things like this happen in the entertainment industry a lot, right? Not just with men and women. Sometimes women can be narcissistic too. Women can be controlling. Oh, I like this darkness. I might keep this. Women can be controlling too. Women can be evil too. And you can meet some crazy ass people in this game. That's why you gotta stay woke. Last week I also spoke about how excited I was that Nella Rose was going into I'm a Celebrity, and I'm really, really happy that she secured this role. But I think across the board we can all say that we are not happy. Actually, let me just speak for myself. Let me speak for, because Nella, this is a massive achievement that she's been able to go on national television and she's in a jungle and facing her fears. It's great. However, this attitude. However, the attitude that she has, I'm personally not a fan of it. And I can see how the greater British public will not be a fan of it. I think when you're from London, you're a black person living in a diverse city, whether you're from London, Birmingham, Manchester, or Bolton or Leeds, wherever there are ethnic people, you forget that the United Kingdom itself, in all the other towns and counties are full of white people. Like, this is a white man's land. So our blackness isn't as tolerable or isn't as accepted in certain places. And I don't think this is an issue about race. I think this is more just a perception of her, because she came into the show and I watched the first episode specifically for her and Nigel Farage. I like Nigel. I like Farage. She came in like screaming, very loud, very brash, and we know that as Nella as that. But the great British public who don't know who you are, they're gonna just think, who is this loud black girl? And if you go on the I'm a Celeb hashtag, you're gonna see it. You are gonna see it. People will easily just forget about you as a person and they'll just blame it on your race. These blacks. And she's the only one, apart from Marvin Humes. Marvin is in the background. He's irrelevant to this. She's the only black person in there. So it's her against the world. And I feel really, really sad. As much as I'm proud that she's been able to bag a gig like this, I feel very, very sad of, just how quick the media can turn on you and her public perception, because she is unable to control the narrative. I don't think she was right for this show at all. You're screaming at all the bugs. You know that this is a show they're going to fling you into the deep end. You're like panicking. You're screaming at all the bugs. You're just like, you're getting the least amount of stars. And it's sad. It's kind of embarrassing too. But I know she'll bounce back from this. And let this be a lesson. Like, you don't need to be in every space. I don't think she should have done this show. I feel like before she went in, she would have been a good contender to win this because of what we know about her. But the last couple of days, I'm not even a fan anymore because she's screaming too much. And she's doing too much. And And the whole situation with Frenchie, what's his name? Fred? It just gives you the argumentative black girl label. And stuff like that really burns my chest. It really burns me to my core, because I'm like, no. I want to give her grace because I know she's grieving, but the whole situation was blown out of proportion when it could have just been a conversation. And you're 26 now. You're old enough to understand conflict resolution. It is difficult. Yes, you're grieving. Yes, you lost both your parents, but behaving like that, refusing to eat someone's food, ignoring people, being passive aggressive over something, a miscommunication, something that, he didn't even know he was offending her for. Ooh, your days are numbered, girl, but good luck to you. And that leads me to move on to today's topic: surviving the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is notorious for chewing people up and spitting them out. It can be great. Loads of people seek fame and fortune, and they want to live the Hollywood lifestyle, and they want to make money, and they want to be celebrities. But you don't know how much sacrifice it takes to be able to get to the top, and then also maintain your position once you've made it to the top, right? And I have loads of creative friends. I have loads of friends who in the industry who aspire to live a bigger lifestyle, to aspire to have riches, to aspire to have their names in lights and perform across the world and do big and amazing things, which is fantastic because I want the same for myself. But there are some rules you need to follow. I'm here to put you on to some things that I've learned over the years that should ultimately help you on your journey too. Know thyself is something that I've probably mentioned it in at least 3 of these 5 episodes. Know thyself is important in life. Knowing who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you smile, what drives you is ultimately your greatest power, because nobody can tell you shit when you know your shit. I came into this industry in 2016, I want to say 2015, 2016. I had dropped out of university and all I had was $1 and a dream, baby. I was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to be the greatest YouTube star forever. And we've seen how that went, because I'm still struggling on this damn YouTube. I've seen people come and go. People are on millions of subscribers now. People are doing the things that I've envisioned for myself. And hey, it is what it is. I wasn't consistent and I didn't do the things that I needed to know at the time. With that being said, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are on a journey to 1,000 subscribers. So let's keep it going. Back to the topic. You need to have a plan. Know what your strengths are, what you're coming in to do, what's your purpose. My purpose coming in, it was like, I just want to be a presenter. I want to be on TV. And I think with age, with time, maturity, you start to peel back the layers and then you find out more of what you want to do. And so now I know it's more than just being an entertainer. I know that entertainment is my outlet, but my purpose is just to help people set themselves free, set myself free, and be an example to others who want to strive for bigger things to do in their life. That's what I'm here to do. Really get to know yourself. You got to spend some time alone. Journal. I talk about, but where is my journal? Where's my journal? My journal's on the other side of the room. I talk about this all the time. Write down. If you don't know who you are, ask the people around you to tell you 3 things that they know about you that they can say that you are. 3 character traits. And if you're still figuring out who you are, then maybe you need to create the version of you that you want to be. You haven't yet formed into your new form, into your new skin. So take some time, draw a little picture, draw a little diagram. who's the next version of you, and try and learn how to embody those character traits. This should have been rule number 1. Do not quit your day job. Don't do it. Don't think about it. Don't do it. I'm in a position now where I haven't had a day job for the majority of this year, by the grace of God. And there have been various times in my career where I've had a job and I've left a job, and I've had a job and I've left a job. Listen, you just need to make sure that you are financially secure. Because if you're looking for financial security as a musician, as an artist, as a entertainer, a radio personality, whatever, there is no money for you.
Clearly the struggle is real. Katya!
In this industry, there is nothing. There's no money. You're not making money until you're making money. Don't let that go over your head. Meaning that you're not really balling until you're really balling. Because this industry, as a freelancer, as a self-employed person, you're just working paycheck to paycheck. It's an invoice-based industry. So that's when I say you're not making money until you're making money, meaning you've got ongoing clients, you're nationally or internationally recognized, does not pay. Artists, writers, journalists especially are like the brokest people. I used to want to be a journalist, and then I looked at the salary. No. Hell didn't no. Actually make that much money either. DJs, I feel like if you want to make some money in the entertainment industry, you got to be a musician, have a specialist, and work with artists, get booked to tour with artists or play for artists weekly. Be a DJ. DJs get money thrown at them, and there's a lot more opportunities to work with corporate clients or with brands, or to do more, premium casual events. There's loads more opportunities to expand. Producers and people who own creative studios, because someone's always going to need a producer, whether it's like a podcast production or a song production. You can charge a set rate, and you're always going to have clients. People always want some kind of work. Even being a podcaster, being a media personality, a content creator, you have to put more money in the initial stages to get your equipment, to promote your work, to edit your work, to work with people, to get everything off the ground before you start making that money back. So that's why I say don't quit your day job. Make sure you have a sustainable income from your 9-to-5 job, whatever it is that you do, and that your creativity is able to make you the same amount or more than what you're earning from your 9-to-5 before you quit your 9-to-5. Because I've done it time and time again. Since I've started in this industry, I've had jobs, been like, okay, now it's my time. I've left my job. Then the money runs out. Then I have a good run, and then it falls, and then I've got to go back to work, and it's an endless cycle. So either, if you've got the bank of mum and dad to support you, fantastic. Use that to your advantage, but don't be stupid with your money. Make sure you're putting your money aside. Okay? Make sure you're saving and investing. Don't be splurging all over the place. Be smart with your money. Really believe in what you're doing. And you've created a sustainable business plan for yourself. So okay, I'm going to launch this, and in 6 months' time, I expect to be making this month in this amount. In a year's time, I expect to be making that much. When you're first starting out, you may need to do some free work to get your feet wet, to get yourself experience, to meet people in the industry. You may need to do some things for free that will bring you the exposure, and then will eventually bring you those paying clients. If you're not prepared to do free work, this industry is not for you. If you're not prepared to potentially not get paid, this industry is not for you. The invoice I was talking about in episode 1 that I'm still chasing. I'm still waiting for that money to come through. That's five episodes. That's 5 weeks. And these things happen all the time. People will take you for idiot. People will think,
oh, well, I'm just going to pay you late. Even the majority of the time, they don't have the money to pay you. So they'll string you along. And then you got to take action and start doing late fees. But then they don't even have the money for the late fee. So then what? You got to threaten people to take them to court for a little bit of money, when you could have just been upfront and honest in the beginning stages. People will make you promises. Oh, listen. People will make you promises. People will say that you're going to make this amount. But if nothing is written in writing, don't get me started on actors. The amount of people that are in the acting world and in theater that work in bars and are waitresses and just have random side jobs because the industry does not pay. You're not making money until you're making money. So until you hit the jackpot and you're getting the big roles, you're in a leading role, or you're the star of the show, you're making you're making chicken change. And this is what people don't tell you about the industry. I feel like the influence of American culture, American hip hop music and rap culture, where people wear chains, people wear their wealth, and people might get a deal or they might get an advance and then they spend it on their outer appearance. It makes it seem like, okay, well, being an artist or being an actor is the only way I can get out the hood. And it will keep you in the hood. It will keep you in the hood for more years than you want to be in the hood. So just make sure you got a little side job on the side, okay? Self-esteem is key. This industry will break you, choke slam you, pow. Tables, ladders, chairs, fling you from the top of the arena down into the ring. If you're not strong, if you've not got the self-esteem to carry yourself, just forget about it. Just go and be a librarian or get a normal job where people don't threaten you, because if I wasn't mentally strong and if I didn't have the self-belief and know in my spirit, in my heart, my soul, that doing what I do is what I'm supposed to be doing, I would have quit a long time ago. Because you can have high highs and you can have low lows, and you can have people saying that they love you and they love your work and they're writing articles about you, and in the next month nobody's saying nothing, nobody's booking you, nobody's checking for you. And if you allow that dynamic to dictate the value of yourself or how you see yourself, you will never win, because you'll only be happy when the highs are high. And this is why a lot of people, especially rock stars back in the day, and there's the whole 27 Club, people were doing crazy drugs just to maintain the high of performing to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people screaming your name every night. And then you go back to nothing. You don't feel secure in yourself when you're alone at night. You don't love yourself. You don't like yourself. The only time you feel like you're valuable is when you're on stage and you're performing to all of these people, and you go home to your family and you feel like trash. And this is why people do crazy drugs and they die. They overdose because they don't know how to regulate their own self. They are unable to see their worth and their value just as a simple human being. What you do, or your gift that you've been given, whether it's to perform or to paint or whatever it is that you are striving towards, it is not your identity. And this is why it's important to maintain friendships and have hobbies and just have a simple life outside of your stage fame life. The entertainment industry comes in waves. Some people are at the top of their game. Some people get praise or like have #1 albums or are like in every single movie. And then the next year after that, they're nowhere to be found. And that's not because they fell off. That's probably because they're taking a break or they're trying to get other roles. But everyone has their time. Everyone has their time to be hot and to win all the awards and to get all the accolades and to be in everything and be in high demand. But then next season, it's going to be someone else's turn. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with things coming in cycles. And ultimately, you riding and creating your own wave. Crops don't stay alive all the time. If you look at a tree outside, we're getting a little bit philosophical and spiritual here. Hang on. Look at a tree, right? Right outside my window, there's a blossom tree. And only once a year. Right now it's bare. But in about March, April, it starts to bear blossoms. You start to see the little buds come out, and then eventually it blossoms, and you got some cherry blossoms, and then the wind blows it all away, and then it's bare, and then it starts to just grow regular leaves. It's like that. You gotta start thinking about your career like that. You gotta plant it, you wait for it to bloom, and then it does it again, and then it does it again, and then it does it again. And you've got to know how to back your shit. You've got to know how to believe in your shit. If you're waiting for people to validate you all the time, you ain't gonna win. So, just find a different career. Ooh, professionalism. It's something that you think most people will have, but a lot of people are willing to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. A lot of people are willing to cross the line. And I've spoken about this as a woman before. Go and watch episode 4, where I've talked about men and their strippiness. But the people just in general, some people don't have manners. Being professional is what will set you apart from your competitors or other people that are going for the same role as you. If you're on time, that's a no-brainer. I struggle with my timing, I can't lie, but I am doing a lot better. Be on time, be early, in fact. Be helpful. Someone who is active, who can do it all, who is invested, who brings ideas, who is good energy. And that will set you apart. That is what people will remember. That you were respectful, you were kind, you were good at your job, you went the extra mile. People remember that, and that's how you will continue to thrive in the industry. A lot of jobs in the industry are from word of mouth. Not even some jobs that I've gotten or things that I've hosted, they came to me directly. Either because someone recommended me, or they had seen me host somewhere before, or I just got a booking the other day. Someone was where I was DJing. Someone was at the location that I was DJing, and they loved the songs that I was playing, and they've booked me. It's that simple. So you've always got to be alert about how you're moving in certain spaces. You've always got to be in that role and that position and be willing and able and ready for opportunities to come your way, because they absolutely will. But people don't want to work with people who are miserable, or people who just kind of shuffle their feet and do the bare minimum. And when I first started, I remember, I'll never forget, I got an internship at Link Up TV, and I was so excited. I was just excited to be in the room, but I wasn't a good worker compared to some of the other people who eventually stayed on and worked with Link Up long term. I was gone in a couple of months because I wasn't dedicated in the way that they needed me to be dedicated. I just wanted to I was just like, yeah, I'm excited. Can I come here and can I do this? But I didn't, at the time, I didn't know my weaknesses and I didn't know my strengths. I didn't know that I hated admin. And that's the stuff that they were making me do. And I was like, I don't want to do this. This is not what excites me. I want to be in front of the camera. And it is what it is. You live and you learn, you move forward, and there will always be more opportunities. People are blood clots. You know that little Miss Jocelyn sign, all men are blood clots. People in the industry are blood clots. Don't get me wrong, you get some good people, and I have some lifelong friends that I've made on this journey in this industry. But a lot of people are bloodclarts, meaning that A, they don't know what they're doing. You will find that a lot of people don't know what they're doing. Creativity is made of vibes. It's ideas in your brain. But also sometimes is not often matched with logic or practicality. So people might have fantastic ideas but don't know how to execute them properly. And then they'll bring you on board and drag you down into shit. Nobody knows what they are doing, especially in the early stages. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone's just winging it and wants to take from this person, collaborate with this person. But it's all just make believe. It's all just make believe, which is why this industry should not be your bread and butter. B, people can be selfish and have ulterior motives, and then again drag you into the ship with them. So you have to be careful and have discernment. This is the thing. People will try and take you for a dickhead. And if you let them take you for a dickhead, they'll absolutely take you for a dickhead. This guy recruited me to help him bring his visions to life, but wanted me to put my own money to invest in his stuff. So let's say he needed extra equipment and things like that. He will just say, oh, you just put that on your card and I'll give you the money back later. Don't give nothing to nobody. If it's not written in writing, if this is not part of my contract or part of my agreement, I'm not doing it. You'll get scammers. I know that there are stories of people like DJs, people in the music industry who charge people, especially like up and coming artists who really want exposure, will charge people £200-300 to go on a playlist, to go on a Spotify playlist, or to get their song played on radio. Listen, do your research. Ask around, make sure that you're knowledgeable, because people will take you for idiot if they can. Something that I've learned to adopt is to let people show you themselves. People will reveal themselves very, very quickly, unless they're narcissistic and they know how to mask their true self. But even that you can kind of see very early on. Let people show you that they are trustworthy or not trustworthy, and then you can make a decision to go into business with them. Do not do business with nobody without no written agreement. Do not do business with people based on word of mouth. So let's say we're having a conversation and I've promised you, okay, you do this for me and I'll give you 5 apples every month. If that's not in writing, I don't have to adhere to that. I don't have to give you 5 apples. I can give you 4. I can give you 3. I can give you none. And then be like, oh, actually, well, I changed my mind. Make sure everything is in writing. If it's in a text, if it's in a email is a better way to track it down. Don't just be dilly-dallying and going off vibes and trusting people to do what they said they're going to do. No. Especially not in this industry, because people will take you for what? Idiot. If you let them. The red flags usually present themselves in the beginning. So you got to stay woke. You got to think about what you want. Go back to point number 1. Who art thou? Who are you? What's your purpose? What are you here to do? What do you want? What are you trying to bring to the table? And what do you want to collect from the table? If you don't align, don't do it. Period. Loads of people have ideas and they want to launch this and they want to do that event and they want to do this and they've got a role for you and they've got a job for you. But again, don't quit your day job for something someone said until you can see it in flesh and blood, in stone, in writing, until you know it's 100% lucrative and it's beneficial for you. Don't agree to do anything, because people love, I've had this in the past before where people are like, oh, I've got an idea, I want to film this with you, I want to do this with you, and they're telling everybody about it. Now I still haven't filmed the thing, because people love to talk, people have ideas, but people don't know how to execute until it's written in writing. Until, who is it, Abraham, Who is it that got the message from God and wrote it in stone? The commandments. Abraham. Wasn't Moses. It was Solomon. That shows you how much I know about the Bible. Whoever God delivered the message to told him to go to the mountains and put it in stone, the commandments. Until you see it in stone, it does not exist. Establishing your community is one of the greatest things that you do because the people that are grinding with you, the people that are shooting with you in the gym, that are also starting up on the same level as you, don't snub them, because they are the people that are going to rise with you. Everybody that you've met at the start of your journey is going to move up the rankings at some point in their life. I know when we start in the industry, we all want to go for the big jobs. We all want to work for the big networks, and we want to work for the big brands, and we were all always looking upwards and outwards for whatever's shiny and for whatever is already established and what's popular. But it's a lot harder to get into those places. The best things for you to do is to create with your mandem. Create with the people next to you, the people that know you, because everyone is hungry for an opportunity, especially when you're first starting out. If you're a music artist and you want to be a rapper, you probably know someone who can be your background singer. You probably know someone who can be your drummer. You probably know someone who could be your manager. You know all these people, but you have to work together. You have to be willing to take a chance on people and work together in the early stages and grind together. Because of people that I met 5, 6, 7 years ago at the start of my career, and they've moved up and they've gone into certain management positions, and they know me. So I've been able to walk on through that door because I already had that relationship. Issa Rae says this.
We have a tendency to try to, like, when we network up, and it really is about networking across, like, who's next to you, who's struggling, who's in the trenches with you, who's just as hungry as you are. And those are the people that you need to build with. It's not about, like, finding, hitting up, like, calling Tyler Perry, like, how can I work with you? Calling Ava to be like, how can I be on? It's about calling your college mate. It's about calling your coworker and saying, hey, you trying to do this? I'm trying to do this project. And literally every project that I've done, every friend of mine has been in some way, shape, or form, because I needed them, because they were just down. They didn't, they're not even part of the industry in many cases, just to help me make it work. And I would do the same for them in a heart.
I 100% stand on this. 100% stand on this. You need to work across. You need to work horizontally, not vertically. I know what at the top seems shiny, but they all have their people around them, right? And they're people that they've known for years. So when it's your turn to be at the top, who's going to be around you? It's the people that are currently at the same level as you. Don't snub the people that are on the grind with you, because one day they're going to make it to the top and you're going to need them. And listen, the tables always turn. It might be someone's moment today. It might not be their moment next week. So don't be a dickhead. Don't be a blood clot. Be respectful and give people proper treatment, because people will always remember how you made them feel. Lastly, master your craft. As much as you are chasing your dream, Jim is chasing his dream. Rebecca's chasing her dream. I'm chasing my dream. There are hundreds and thousands of other people who want the same thing that you want. So how are you going to stand out from the crowd? Practice. Practice, practice, practice. At every opportunity you get the experience that you need to be untouchable. Be so good that they cannot ignore you. There's a rapper, an artist I know called T. Peters. Shout out to T. I don't think he's going to watch this, but shout out to T. And he's come a long way from the beginning. I've known him for over 5 years. When he first started rapping, he wasn't that good. And he also has a speech impediment, so his diction isn't the strongest. to now, like, he's been pushing and pushing and working and like really, really owning, like, and like throwing himself into the deep end so he can be in the positions that he is in now. Now he's doing shows abroad. He's covering Spotify playlists. His songs. I heard his song in a shop the other day, and it's just incredible to see. Like, if you believe in yourself, you can absolutely achieve it. And you might not be MJ, you might not be Tom Cruise, George Clooney, whatever, at the start of your career, but you can absolutely work towards it. And that's something that you should be obsessed with. You should always be striving to be better and do more and push yourself, push the boundaries, try something new, get out of your comfort zone. You always want to do better than you did. If you did a performance this week, how is it going to be better next time? Always be striving for more, striving to be the best. You're only competing, as much as you're competing with those other people, you're competing with yourself. Don't get complacent. Don't get lazy. It's very easy to do that, especially if you're like riding a wave. You're on up and you've had a bit of success. You're riding away. It's very, very easy to get complacent. Do not do that. Don't sleep on the job. Keep going, keep pushing, keep striving. And ultimately, nobody will be able to tell you shit when you're that good. You can do anything you want when you sexy. AKA, you can do anything you want. You can get anything you want when you are good at your goddamn job. So work hard at it. Right, we are on the road to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So make sure to hit that red button. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button too. Doesn't cost you anything either. It will just put a smile on my face. And why would you not want me to smile? We're also on the road to 10,000 Instagram followers. So make sure to head over to Anna Marie Descartes and hit that follow button. Doesn't cost you anything either. You can also follow me on TikTok at Anna Marie DTV. Now let's get into this week's Ask Anna. Okay, this week's Ask Anna is a bit of a sticky one still, and you can submit your dilemmas to me every Monday on my Insta story. I pop up a little box. Hit me up, send me a question or dilemma, and I'll be sure to answer it on the show. Let's get into it. Hi Anna, I'm seeing someone who presents as an amazing person, but they're going through a divorce. Do I wait until they have healed from the divorce or enjoy the process? I already replied to this person and I was like, hell to the no. Listen, as someone who's gone through a breakup not that long ago, well, yeah, we're coming up to a year soon. The person that you see after that breakup, you're not invested in that person. It's merely a good time. It's something exciting. It's something fresh. It's something new to do to get your genitals wet if that's what you're about. But it's never love. No. And divorce, going through a divorce, of course, I've never been married, so I've never been divorced. Divorce is very strenuous, especially if you own property and all these kind of assets with the person. There's a lot of things that's a long process. It's a legal process and it's also an emotional process because you are, I guess, severing ties, removing this person who you once were absolutely in love with and wanted to spend the rest of your life with. That's a very, very draining part of your life. So ultimately, looking at it, the guy that you're seeing is probably just here for a good time. He needs a distraction from the divorce. He needs an outlet, and it just so happens to be you. And this is where people get messed up, okay? Because you might be having a great time, but this man will not commit to you. And also, even if he did want to commit to you, I don't think that you should. I don't think that you should commit to someone that's currently going through a divorce, that's in the process of a divorce. One, because it's not going to be beneficial for you. You will be just there. You'll be there as an emotional crux. You will be there as fun time while he's going through it. Secondly, I wouldn't commit to them after the divorce because you still need time to heal and process. It's almost been a year since my breakup, and I'm only at the point now where I'm like, yeah, I feel like his energy has left me now. like I feel the last 6 months, I've definitely felt a lot lighter and like great. And I've been back in the streets. But now at this end of the year, I'm like, I could love someone again at this point now. And that's taken me almost a year to get to that point. So yeah, no, it depends on what you want. First and foremost, it always depends on what you want. If you're looking for a fun time, sure, enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. Because I'm sure he's probably got a lot of sexual frustrations that he's gonna lay on you. So enjoy that. But if you want love, if you want commitment, if you want long term, get up and go. Just pack your bags and go. Don't even like wait around to kind of figure it out or wait for him to heal, because it's never gonna be you, right? He still needs the time to figure out his life post divorce, and going from being in one relationship, one long-term relationship where you were married to someone and you shared a life with someone, to now like having a new girlfriend. Oh, that's a clear sign of a codependent person. And you know how I feel about codependency. Not my vibe. So if you love yourself, first and foremost, keep a nice distance, a nice healthy distance. Enjoy the dating, enjoy the D, enjoy whatever it is that you're getting from the situation. If it's just conversation, don't know your life, enjoy that. But do not expect anything more than that. Okay? Save yourself while you can. Okay? Save yourself while you can. All right. That wraps up this week's episode. Thank you all again for tuning in. I will be back next Thursday. Okay, we're settling on Thursdays now. Thursdays nights. I haven't decided a time. By episode 10, we'll have a strong schedule, but this is still early days. I don't even expect people to listen to this, but the fact that people do listen to it and show up every week surprises me every single time. So thank you. Lots of love to you. And I will be back with another episode for your head top next week. Ta-ra!